Welcome to another session of Building the Bull. This session is brought to you by the Skylabs and Vetter ecosystem. My name is Ryan, and I am so glad to be your host today. As you're watching live, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop a comment below saying hello, letting everybody know where you are watching from. Now, over the last year, over 16,000 crypto projects launched. I got a question. How would you like to get paid to share quality crypto projects, quality crypto pre-sales on our CrowdX Calendar? That's exactly what these sessions are all about. It's designed to equip you with the knowledge and resources and experience to find great projects. Now, we work together to find projects that have potential while at the same time bringing up warnings, red flags about projects that maybe bring concern. Now, for the last 6 months, we've recorded over 100 plus live sessions like this, supporting the community and navigating the CrowdX Calendar, helping people find 2x to 100x gems, and literally paying out thousands of dollars worth of crypto in the process. So want to go ahead and say, welcome to Carl, welcome Daryl, welcome Chris. Glad you guys are here and hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Now, I got a question for you. What is it really going to take to build the bull and build out the Vetter ecosystem? I mean, what's it really going to take from you as an individual, from the community itself? How do we get your skill sets plugged into the community in a way where you're excited to support and help? And one of the things, this is obviously geared towards people who are interested in contributing, interested in, raising their hand saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to build something here. For me personally, I'm just truly grateful and thankful to be here and to have had the opportunity to do videos like this and serve the community in other ways. And, when I first found the Vetter ecosystem over a year ago, to me, it was a huge blessing and opportunity. And it's just so incredibly grateful to even have that opportunity. And so I operate from a abundance mindset, a gratitude mindset, a just being so thankful to even be positioned. The Vetter ecosystem is positioned in such a way to really capitalize and grow as we build into the next bull run. There's so many things that are positioned perfectly for that. And you're here early, and you can be a part of that. Now, one of the things that I personally feel that is important as a culture, and individually, so even your own personal life, so even if it's outside of the Vetter ecosystem, what I'm about to share, I think will be really helpful for you, any area of your life. Okay, and one of the things that we're going to start doing just for a few minutes at the beginning of each call, obviously, just get grounded in the fact that, hey, you're here. You're in a place in your life where you have the access and means to be listening to this right now and the opportunity to participate. That's a massive thing. So be grateful, recognize that, come from a place of gratitude. But take it a step further, and we're going to talk a little bit about the head game. Okay, when it comes to scouting projects, when it comes to, capitalizing on opportunities, a lot of this boils down to the proper head game, the proper mindset. Okay, and one of the things that I want to share, there was a book written by Andy Andrews. It's called The Traveler's Gift, and in that book there are seven decisions, and they're decisions for success. And this is what I mean by how this can support you in the crypto space, with scouting projects. This can also support you in your own life. Okay, whether it's your career, with your family, whether it's your health and wellness, your finances, whatever the case. And so, all the next sessions that we do, I'm just going to read one of the decisions for success just to start us off, to get us kind of in the right frame of mind, and then we'll just go from there. So the first decision for success: the buck stops here. From this moment forward, I will accept responsibility for my past. I understand that the beginning of wisdom is to accept the responsibility for my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move into a bigger, brighter future of my own choosing. Never again will I blame my parents, my spouse, my boss, or other employees for my present situation. Neither my education nor lack of one, my genetics, or the circumstantial ebb and flow of everyday life will affect my future in a negative way. If I allow myself to blame these uncontrollable forces for my lack of success, I will be forever caught in a web of the past. I will look forward. I will not let my history control my destiny. The buck stops here. I accept responsibility for my past. I'm responsible for my success. I'm where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, because of decisions I have made. My decisions have always been governed by my thinking. Therefore, I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, because of how I think. Today, I will begin the process of changing where I am, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, by changing the way I think. My thoughts will be constructive, never destructive. My mind will live in the solutions of the future. I will not dwell in the problems of the past. I will seek the association of those who are working and striving to bring about positive changes in the world. I will never seek comfort by associating with those who've decided to be comfortable. When faced with the opportunity to make a decision, I will make one. I understand that God did not put in me the ability to always make right decisions. He did, however, put in me the ability to make a decision and then make it right. The rise and fall of my emotional tide will not deter me from my course. When I make a decision, I will stand behind it. My energy will go into making the decision. I will waste none on second thoughts. My life will not be an apology, it will be a statement. The buck stops here. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. In the future, when I'm tempted to ask the question, why me? I will immediately counter with the answer, why not me? Challenges are gifts, opportunities to learn. Problems are the common thread running through the lives of great men and women. In times of adversity, I will not have a problem to deal with. I will have a choice to make. My thoughts will be clear. I will make the right choice. Adversity is preparation for greatness. I will accept this preparation. Why me? Why not me? I will be prepared for something great. I accept responsibility for my past. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I'm responsible for my success. The buck stops here. So again, if you're just now tuning in, that is the first decision in the 7 decisions. Again, this is a book by Andy Andrews. It's called The Traveler's Gift. And like I said at the beginning, I thought that'd be great for us just to have the right kind of mindset as we head into today's session. If that was helpful, if that resonated with you, go ahead and type in the chat, the buck stops here. And what we're talking about is personal ownership, personal responsibility. To be a scout, it takes vision. It takes vision because it's not a cakewalk. It is difficult. It's challenging. You're working diligently, and at the end of the day, the results that you are maybe hoping for, okay, you have no control over. All it is stacking probabilities in your favor. We talk about this all the time. So let's go ahead and pull up the chart here. We talk about this all the time. Scouting is just like looking at crypto projects. You're stacking probabilities in your favor with you're betting on whether the project's going to be successful or not. And as a scout, the more successful projects that you post, the more vetter that you earn. And the more successful project that you post, the more hot streaks that you earn, which means you earn more crypto. It's a win-win, okay? And so what I really want to encourage is, if you have a solid plan in place, okay, if you have a solid plan and strategy in place, if you win one, okay, let's say that this is let's say that this is a win right here. You win one, okay, and you win another, okay, and you win another, okay, and then all of a sudden you lose one. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Just like a professional athlete who maybe has an off day, their career is no longer over. Okay? We're not going to win them all. As a scout, you're not going to pick just perfect, pristine, perfect projects all the time. Something can happen. Something can go wrong. Something will go wrong. Okay? And so it's not the end of the world. If you happen to pick a bad project, or you happen to pick a project and maybe you miss something, it has no reflection on your talent or skill sets as a scout. If you have a solid plan where you've developed your KSP and you know that if you're looking for specific things, let's say you're looking for a fully doxed team with a StirTech audit, okay, those are your absolute musts, and they do XYZ, you know, whatever your plan is, whatever your secret sauce is, it may not work out 100% of the time, and it's likely that it's not going to. So please don't get discouraged if you happen to miss one. It is what it is. You have your plan in place. You have your edge that whenever you scout a project over a volume of launches, you know that you're going to pick more winners than losers. That, my friends, is the plan. Okay? That's your plan. That's your edge. That's your betting. Okay? That's your betting. Now, there's a handful of ways that people could, look at this process of scouting. Okay, and I'll just share one of the ways that I personally had experienced. When we first started a year ago, it was like the land rush. Okay, it was like a mad dash, and you're scrambling around, rushing around, trying to find a project before someone else finds one. So like the criteria was simply, is it available? I know some other people, they were there that time as well. It was literally like, oh, it's a mad dash. I got to hurry and get one on the calendar. I got to beat so-and-so before they find this one. That's what it was. Okay? That's what it was. It wasn't about a quality project. It wasn't about the type of project. It wasn't about a volume of launches. It wasn't about KSP. It wasn't about being professional. It was literally a mad dash of posting whatever you could as fast as you could, and hopefully it worked out. Well, guess what happens when when the bear market comes? People who didn't really have a plan in place, people who didn't really know what they were doing, look at the results. So the whole purpose of these videos is literally to empower you to get a clear idea, understanding, and plan in place, so you know, like, hey, you know what? I know that whether it's a bear market or bull market, this is my criteria, this is what I'm looking for, and these are the projects I like. Okay? So you have the one type of person who's going to just post whatever they're going to post and cross their fingers and hope that the project is going to do good. Okay? That's one way. That's one way. That's one way, okay? Gal remembers those days. Yeah, it's like a mad dash, wasn't it? Wasn't it? It's like, oh man, like the first check that you do, I can only speak for myself. The first check that I did when I was scouting in the beginning days was, is it on the calendar or not? If it wasn't on the calendar, I immediately grabbed it and put it up. Like that was my strategy. Horrible strategy. Absolutely horrible. Okay? But in a bull market, you can get away with that stuff. Why? Because there's so much launching that, it didn't matter. You didn't necessarily have to have a solid checklist. You could just get away with like all this volume. Now, you can be selective. You can be you can be strategic. Okay? So you have the person who's just going to post anything. And the person who just posts anything, their rank is going to reflect that. Okay? Their rank is going to reflect that. You're going to have a person who is very selective. Maybe you're looking for certain things only. Let's say that there's 10 things on your checklist. 10 things. And it's got to be this. That may have been more than 10. I wasn't counting. But that means that your view is going to be so narrow. And so maybe you're posting once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, or maybe once a month. But that's okay. That's your style. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's your style. Okay? There's going to be some people who find really good ponds, really good sources. And those sources may outweigh the quality of the project. So the project may look a certain way. For those of you who may remember, there was a project called Super Cats, and on the outside it looked really, really bad, but the scout was really good. And we looked at what the project looked at, but didn't consider the scout and the source. And you're going to find that some scouts, they have a really good source. And you yourself may find a really good source. And just because that source is your bread and butter, and that's your claim to fame, and nothing's wrong with that. That's your style. That's your style. Louise says she was never good at sprinting. That's funny. Next comment says these skills will make even more sense in the bull market as there's an abundance of launch. Absolutely, absolutely. Being able to find, really good projects, sift and sort, in this market conditions, you're literally developing your skill set. You're sharpening your axe, so to speak. Okay, you're sharpening your axe. Okay, we're literally training. We're training for the next phase of the crypto market right now. Okay, and then you're gonna have people who, they're super selective. Okay, you're gonna have people who are random. They post a variety of things. They post a couple memes. They post a couple gaming projects. They post a couple utilities. You're gonna have people who post exclusive gaming projects or exclusive meme type projects. All of what I'm saying is you get to find your space. And I don't want to tell you that there's a certain way to do that. I believe that collectively we can find patterns and share ideas on what's good and what's working. But I'm not going to say it should or shouldn't be a way. For me personally, I'm looking at, okay, so would I feel more comfortable staying in one lane and getting really good at one type of project? That'd be one strategy I would implement. Or the other strategy I would implement is having a really dialed in checklist. I'll post any project that meets this criteria. Okay? I'll post any project that meets this criteria. All right, so that's what I'd be looking for. And man, I know that I said this name last time, or a couple weeks back, and you gave me the proper pronunciation. I didn't write it down, or I wrote it down on a different notepad. But Wojtek, can you tell me how to pronounce your name again, my friend? I don't want to not say it. I want to say it correctly. So if you could tell me how to pronounce it again, I'm going to put it on my monitor so I remember. Just like Roman did the other day for me. It helped me out, embedded into my brain. So. Now, that'd be super helpful. Yeah, what Wojtek says, I'm not even making moves right now, just watching and doing volume of launches. I feel I can see more after doing this for a few weeks. Absolutely. Like, the thing is, you're not losing anything by studying right now. Okay? Like, you're just gaining. Any amount of money that you feel like you're losing is coming from a place of lack and scarcity instead of in a place of abundance. Like, I personally believe, I subscribe to the tribe and idea that you're learning right now, you're studying right now, and that can support you later on with exponential growth. Wojtek, thank you. No, I don't want to use my version. that was rough. Okay, I'm writing it down. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna put a note by my monitor because I want to make sure I pronounce everybody's names right. Okay, perfect. Wojtek, awesome, brother. Thank you. So yeah, welcome, Henry. Henry, glad you're here, brother. So yeah, if you're just now tuning in, we're just talking about some proper mindset, some proper ideas on what it's going to look like, what it's going to take as an individual, okay, as an individual who's a scout contributing to the calendar, contributing to the ecosystem, what it's going to take as a community member. Because even as a community member, we get to have the right mindset, the right resilience, the right vision, coming from a place of vision versus ego. And I know we talked about this last week, but I want to again give a shout out to Daryl and Henry. And you may have seen in Discord, I gave you guys a shout out, but I wanted to say it again. Big shout out to Daryl and Henry last week. You guys came from a place of vision, and you checked your ego. And the crypto space is not about that. Crypto space is very self-centered, egocentric, entitled mentality, and it's just, I'm so honored and thankful that we get to work together and we get to be a part of this community together where people are willing to check their ego, show up in humility and humbleness and say, hey, I could use some help. And then everyone gets better from that. So again, shout out to Henry, shout out to Daryl. You guys are absolute rock stars, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your vision. It's really easy for us to come from a place of ego, and one of the things that's going to make such a big difference in our community is coming from a place of vision. Okay, coming from a place of vision. Vision is the ability to see beyond who and where you are right now. Vision is the ability to see what has not yet been created. Vision is the ability to see it doesn't matter where we are today. What matters is where we're going. Think about that. Picture the ecosystem, the veterinary ecosystem, the way you picture. What is your envision? What is your role in that? And the CrowdX Calendar, the type of projects that are coming from the community and the people who are benefiting from that, and the type of devs that we're attracting that want to launch with us because of the ecosystem and environment that we've created. That, my friends, is vision. Okay? And we create that. Okay? We don't wait for that to come about. We don't wait for something to shift or change a month from now or 60 days or 90 days from now. Right now, what we're doing right now, okay? Daryl and Henry, what you guys did last week, that, my friends, that right there is stepping into the vision. That right there is moving the ball down the field and getting one step closer to that utopic view of what our potential is as a community, okay? That is big time. That's absolutely major. There's a quote someone said one time, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And I just encourage you guys, no matter where you are in the community and what your contribution is, just think about where we're headed and what that looks for you and your family. Get clear on that. Picture it in your mind. Imagine what it would feel like with whatever the price is, your ideal price. Imagine what it would feel like, the kind of business that's coming. Imagine what it would feel like, the kind of projects that are launching off of the launchpad. Imagine what it would feel like to be getting regular, consistent hot streaks week in, week out. Imagine what it would feel like to be finding great projects with great teams. How awesome would that be? Get in touch with that. Because like I said, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And we don't have to wait for this to be a reality. We can create it right now. Okay, the building blocks in our mind right now. Okay. Now, I wanted to share another thought, just preparing like from a mental perspective, and I'm just going to share a couple thoughts here. Every session, I just want to do a little bit of mindset, like I said, and then we'll dive into looking at some stuff. But one of the things that I wanted to share now, and I've shared this before, but now we're going to do it in a different format than what we previously did. But one of my mentors, he had 12-year coaching experience and observations in the Forex world, and what it took to be a successful trader. And we've shared some of these ideas before, and some of these are specific to trading, but also some of these are specific to life in general. What's it take to have a successful life? And so you get to have a dream. I said a minute ago, what is the vision? Your contribution in the community as a scout, as a community member, what is it that you want to create? What is your vision? What's the dream? Okay? Do you want to have impact over the world? Do you want, financial? What is it? What is it for you? Okay, why are you doing it? Okay, what's the purpose? You plug into these calls, you contribute in the community. Why? Why are you doing that? It's important to get really cued in on the why. So when things get challenging, when things get difficult, You have something to pull you through that situation. Your vision can pull you through the muck and the downtimes and the things that are kind of frustrating or irritating. Okay? Your vision can pull you through that stuff. Okay? So it's important to have a dream, a purpose, and a why. You know, why are you doing this, and why are you contributing, and why are you here? Next one, 100% buy-in to the dream. 100% buy-in. Like you're in it, absolutely, without a doubt. Failure is not an option. Okay? Failure is not an option. You know, when I think about that, I think of Daryl. Daryl, who reached out and said, you know, hey, I've been kind of struggling with some projects. You know, can you give me some feedback? Failure's not an option for Daryl. Daryl recognized that his vision is bigger than his current circumstance and current situation. Okay? He's not going to let this chapter of life be the last chapter. He's going to say, you know what? I want to learn more. I want to grow more. Let's make this work. There's other people who stopped Daryl. Let me rephrase that. There's other people who stopped. Daryl, there's other people in the community who were just like you in your situation, and they quit and gave up and they stopped. Because failure was an option for them. Because their ego was bigger than their vision. And so we get to have a community where our vision is bigger than the ego. Failure's not an option. We're going to show up. We're going to give our best. Okay? We're going to show up. We're going to contribute our best. We're going to do what we can. Whatever role that looks like, whatever contribution that looks like, whether it's an hour a day, a minute a day, an hour a month, you know, it doesn't matter. We're all here. Many hands make light work. We're all in this together. Okay? We're going to persist until success happens. Persist until success happens. Push. We're going to push. Persist until success happens. Okay, we scout a project, it looks great, and it tanks. Is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. Why? Because vision is bigger than ego. Your dream, your why, your purpose, your goals, it's bigger. It's bigger. And you know through a volume of launches, hey, it's okay. We're going to lose a couple. It's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. It's no reflection on you. Has nothing to do with you, your ability, your talent. It is what it is. It's simply a numbers game. Okay? Your dream, your purpose, your why, your vision will get you through that. We're going to push. Persist until success happens. Next one. You get to believe. Okay? You get to believe. You get to have a belief that the dream will happen. The vision. You get to hold tight to the vision that will actually, you believe that it will actually happen. Okay? It will actually happen. That your financial goals are a reality. That it's not just a pipe dream. That it can actually get there. That this ecosystem, okay, is a vehicle that could help you get there. That as a scout, you consistently scouting projects and getting paid crypto to do so. And consistently finding projects and getting hot streaks and earning more crypto. We've paid out over thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for people sharing great projects to the CrowdX Calendar. You get to believe that it will happen for you. And how big of a difference would that make for your life? You get to have that solid belief that it's possible. Okay, next one. Move this out of the way. There we go. Next one. Plan, action, execution. Okay? Plan, action, execution. Not, oh, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Okay, how can you plan out in advance? How can you plan out, your personal routine? Okay, maybe you're deciding that you want to spend 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day scouting projects, figuring it out, developing your KSP, knowledge of system performance, doing your volume of launches, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working. Okay, that's part of your plan. Okay, so you have your plan. You're going to spend 30 minutes a day, and you're going to look at XYZ websites, or you're going to follow XYZ influencers. That's your plan. Now you get to take the action. Now you get to show up and say, okay, hey, here's it's Tuesday. I wrote down in my schedule that I get to do some scouting today. So let's scout some projects. Action, now you get to execute. Okay, do what you said you're going to do. Okay, sometimes it's easy to think about a dream. It's easy to think about a vision. And sometimes it's hard to actually take action and execute on it. So I'm asking you, telling you, listen. In order for that dream, for that vision to be realized, there gets to be action. If you want to be one of the top scouts, if you want to be one of the first people to get a 10 streak on the hot streak, it's going to take a plan and action execution. Not, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Maybe I'll get lucky. And also, it's not going to be, let me just post a lot of projects to the calendar. Hopefully some work out. Nope, doesn't work like that. We've audited thousands of projects. The auditing team has audited thousands of projects. And I tell you, that approach is not going to work. Just posting anything and everything. Okay? It's not going to work like that. You could have a plan, action, execution. And last one we'll do is right here. Focus. What is your focus? Short term versus long term. I've heard the quote that goes like something like, people overestimate what they can accomplish in the short term, but drastically underestimate what they can accomplish in the long term. Don't worry about where you are right now. Worry about what you're doing today that can get you one step closer to where you want to be. But don't rush it. Don't think that, oh, well, I'm just going to be there in a week. I'm just going to learn everything I need to learn today. I watched a couple videos, and I should be there next week. But rather, day in, day out, consistency, day in, day out, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days from now, things can look drastically different. People think if they work real hard for a week, they're going to have the results that they want. Not realizing if they stayed consistent over 90 days, 6 months, a year, it's going to far exceed their expectations. Okay? And again, these are things that my coach observed from a coaching perspective in the Forex world. But it's very much appropriate to the space that we're in. It's very much appropriate to a scout. It's very much appropriate to an athlete. It's very much appropriate to anyone in life who has a vision that they want to work towards something. They want to get something. And so again, dream, purpose, why. 100% buy into the dream. Failure's not an option. Push. Persist until success happens. Believe that the dream will happen. Plan, action, execute. Not, I will get to that bridge I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And last for today, focus. Okay, short term versus long term. Priority filtering. Life events are going to happen. Life events are going to happen. That's why it's called a life event. Something's going to happen at work, or something's going to happen with your schedule, or your spouse, or your kids, or your pet, the weather, the internet may go out. Who knows? The economy, up, down, left, right, who knows? Okay? Things are going to happen in life. The challenge is, when things keep happening and all of a sudden it takes you off of your game. All of a sudden it takes you off of your plan. Hey Ralph, welcome. Glad you're here. You know, life events happening. So for example, let's say that you've committed to scouting for 30 minutes a day. That's your commitment. And you're doing really good, and all of a sudden a life event pops up on a Monday, and then another one on a Tuesday, and then another one on a Wednesday, and another one on a Thursday. Now all of a sudden, some things have become a little bit more important. And we all go through seasons of life. And so you may just get to rearrange your vision. You may get to rearrange your goals for that particular season of life, or shift things around. Maybe you're going to do your scouting in the morning, and maybe life events popped up, and now you get to do your scouting at lunchtime on your lunch break, or maybe you do it in the evening. Okay? But you get to figure out, you'll realize real quick what's a priority. You'll realize real quick what's a priority. Okay? So those are just some 5 ideas. There's a whole list of these, and like I said, every session we'll just go over a couple of these, just sharing some of those thoughts. So as we transition into looking at a project, does anybody have any questions or feedback or comments on some of the things we just talked about? If you're just now tuning in, we started the call, and I definitely recommend you listen to the first part of that. But we started the call with going over one of the 7 decisions by Andy Andrews. And the decision was the buck stops here, about personal responsibility. And so we started the call with that. And then we just now covered, these characteristics of success for whether it be high achievers or athletes or people who want to do something in life. But it really comes down to scouts as well. These are things and these are qualities that the people who made it to the top, so to speak, these are qualities and traits that these people had. And so, as we're building the bull market, it's really important that we all start growing and working together collectively, so we are all better together, with our axes sharpened, with our skills dialed in, because like I said, we are building the bull market. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into, just going to pick a random project. I haven't looked at the calendar today, so we'll just go ahead and take a look, see what we got going on here. All right, so random project. I don't know much about this scout. Okay, this project is called Call to Combat. Okay, Call to Combat. And like I've said before, the same kind of mental checklist that you would go through as a user of the platform is the same mental checklist and an actual checklist that you would utilize when looking at projects to research. Okay, to add to the calendar. Okay, and your style. There's a lot of things we can cover. But as I've said before, this all comes down to your own personal style and preference as a scout. Okay? There's some things that I talk about that other people don't talk about, and there's some things that other people talk about that I don't talk about, vice versa. Okay? So whether you are looking for a team that's 100% doxed, or certain types of audits or certain types of projects, it all comes down to you and your own personal style. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the website here. All right, Call to Combat. All right, so this is like really fast moving. So the graphics look good, but my first thought, this is super fast. This should be like really, really slow or not moving at all, to give you time to actually look at stuff. Okay? Now, the first thought that comes to my mind when looking at this. Actually, I'll hold that thought. I'll hold that thought. We do have a StirTech. This is actually already launched. Hold on just a second. It's okay. So we can kind of guess. We'll just go ahead and look at this and then guess to see how the launch went based on. That's kind of interesting. This is saying it's Ethereum, but anyway, we'll get to the bottom of it. All right. Okay, so aside from this just scrolling way too fast, like I want to look at the visuals and background, but like it's moving really fast. It makes me feel like there's not enough time to even read this stuff. It makes me feel like they don't really want me to read it, and so it makes it almost impossible to read this actually. High-end gameplay. We promise to give users an awesome place to intensive battles. Players can challenge themselves by battling. Okay. Play to earn. Combat tokens can be earned by players in a variety. Oh. Okay, so I cannot read this at all. So what I get to do is, let me, maybe I caught that. Let's see what it actually says over here. I get to like do a quick copy, grab it there. All right, let's open this up. All right, see if this will work. There we go. All right, so that first thing said, players can challenge themselves by battling intensively in the arenas. With the different characters provided in the game, only one player can emerge as a favorite winner in the battlefield. Choose your favorite fighter today. Okay. Intensive battles. Players can change themselves intensively. Okay. Oh, there we go. Once I clicked that, it stopped it. Okay, now we can actually read this stuff. Yeah, once I clicked the arrow, it actually paused it for us. Great. Okay. Play to earn. Combat tokens can be earned by players in a variety of ways, including collecting, battling, and so on. Combat is not only a currency that can be used inside the game, but is also a cryptocurrency that can be purchased outside of the game. Player versus environment. Call to Combat is a delightfully NFT role-playing game on the Binance Smart Chain. Players can earn money by taking care of their characters and putting together teams to beat enemies in PvP PvE battles in the campaign. That's interesting. This is saying it's on Binance. Call to Combat. Well, this is all Certex links. I'm trying to connect. Oh, that's saying Binance as well. Okay, I'm a little confused on what's going on here. Calltocombat.com. Okay, it's all the same. Okay, maybe this is just a visual thing and not actually Binance. Okay, so this, I'm guessing that's the team. I don't know. Let's click Charlie. Rachel. Duke. Austin. That's weird. So like when you click each person, it changes the thing above. So I don't know who these are or what this is. Call to Combat is a game developed in the style of Metaverse and built on Binance Smart Chain. It was developed by a team consisting of core blockchain technicians as well as members of well-known casual game development companies. Called combat, players must free hostages, kill enemies. Players earn bounty points for completing levels. The player starts the game as a soldier or lieutenant and is handed real-life guns for warfare. Each mission goals are displayed in the HUD compass. Players must complete all objectives to advance. Okay. Okay, so it looks like BUSD rewards to holders. That's kind of weird. This is a little weird. So you guys hear me talk about continuity. Um, you guys hear me talk about continuity between graphics and stuff. So this is like military based, and it says right here. What did it say? Player starts a game as a soldier or lieutenant, but like this is a police badge. That says is backwards, but Los Angeles Police is what I see. POLIE Police, Los Angeles Police. So that one's way off for me. A little unsure about that. It's military, so like, why is there a police badge, especially for Los Angeles? Let's see here. Okay. Let's see if we can find docs. We got a white paper here, maybe? We do have a white paper here. Hey, vision. We were just talking about vision. Okay. Game trailer. Oh, weird. Oh, there we go. Wonder if this is the same one that's on the website. All right, so we got 13,000 views. We got 6,800 comments. That is a ton of comments. And that is like, that's a lot. But so right off the bat, does anyone catch anything? This comment right here, this is definitely going to be huge. The team has been an inspiration in the innovative approaches towards achieving the project goals and visions. I'm so glad to be a part of this. This is definitely going to be huge, as a team has been an inspiration in their innovative approaches toward achieving their project goals and visions. I'm so glad to be a part of this. Okay, so we got some, I would say we got a little bit of botting going on here. Yeah, unfortunately none of these comments are real. So we can't take either they ran ads to this, or they just they just botted the comments. So the views, we can't necessarily trust the view count. Now I am kind of curious about the subscribers. We got 32,000 subscribers here. And oh, this looks like some gameplay. Let's take a look. Yeah, Wojtek says maybe there's some lightsabers in the game too. Maybe so. That's the you get to pay more for the lightsabers. Okay, so that was a quick little walkthrough. Now, one of the things Jeremy said previously, if anyone remembers, he said that if you just see a player walking around not engaging with anybody, that that can kind of be easily created. Whenever two different players engage, there's a different level of creativity, different level of development going on there. So this doesn't really show us any interaction. This is just a dude walking. And this kind of reminds me of what we kind of talked about last week. with one of the projects that we talked about, the other game that we looked at last week, I believe it was last Tuesday, where this should just be like a plug and play sandbox type of thing where the stuff has already been designed, and this team hired that. So let's take a look at this and see what we got here. I mean, this is really quality graphics, and so my question is, if the team did design this, where they get the funding for this? Like, this is like good stuff, and it makes me think that it's similar to the other project. I mean, here we got 2,000 comments on this. Same kind of comment nonsense. This is the same kind of comments we saw in the last video. Like all these comments are almost like they're just changing a couple words, moving some things around. Okay. Wojtek, I'm not sure. I know what that means. I don't know what DP or DEPI means. I'm unsure about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at. Like I said, I'm guessing that was the team. Let's take a look at launch the game. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so sell is currently happening. Looks like it was supposed to end over 36 days ago. That's what I guess that's what that means. Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the project. If anyone remembers the name of the project from last week, uh, please share it. Yeah, the sandbox. Yeah, decentralized pirates. DPI. I like that name. That's pretty creative. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I like it whenever there's some funny, memorable names. I like the creativity behind what's going on. Um, it gives me a good chuckle. All right, let's see what we got in Telegram with these guys here. All right, Telegram chat. Oh my goodness, 120,000 members. Okay, 120,000 members. We got 51 pin messages. First pin message was September 3rd. We can't even go. There we go. Oh, this is really questionable in my opinion. Um, like that's like some high end game development stuff with those images and graphics and stuff for the game. And so yes, Dog Wars. Thank you, Daryl. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Thank you, brother. I didn't think Deepi sounded right. Um, I was pretty sure it wasn't Deepi, although I like the name. But yeah. All right. So the Telegram scoots back to September 2nd. So we're talking like 2 months. 2 months. All of September, all of October. 2 months. Oh my goodness gracious. How'd they do all that development in 2 months? Now, there's a lot of people who are not very excited about this. You got 32, unpleasant words, and 12 people are puking. Doesn't look like people are all that excited and thrilled about this project. Okay, let's take a look at, just for funsies. Yeah, this was kind of to be expected, right? We saw it on YouTube. If we see it on YouTube, surely, we saw it on YouTube, surely, we'll see bots in Telegram. Yeah, so this is like heavily botted. As we could probably guess, 120,000. Okay, 120,000. Definitely botted. Okay, did they do any AMAs? No. All these proposals. What was in here? This is just the same stuff pinned over and over again. There's AMA with to remove. What is? I don't know what that is. What? Caesar's called this? Now that is a little surprising. That this is surprising that Caesar's called that. That is really surprising to me. Really surprising that Caesar's called this game. Okay. All right. So, anybody want to take a guess? And I have no idea. We're about to find out together. Anyone want to take a guess as to whether the project was profitable or not profitable? Meaning, do you think the project you think the project had some sort of gain within the first 24 hours, or you think the project tanked? So just type in gain if you think it had some gains, or type in tanked if you think that it tanked at launch. We'll see here in a minute. And then Daryl is saying that the pre-sale for Dog Wars starts in 5. So we'll take a look at that before we hop off here today. That's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that Caesar's. I mean, like his stuff. I mean, he's got a reputation that, or I say that brand has a reputation that they're legit. They're the best of the best. And so to see some of this stuff, it makes me kind of, I don't know. I'm confused. And guys, let me reword this. Let me reword tanked versus profitable. Just for us to have the right mindset as a scout, okay? And maybe what we should call it is risk and risk tolerance, because that's what we're talking about. All of our risk tolerances are going to be different, okay? And so, for example, Daryl, through your volume of launches and through your own scouting, you may find something that works really well for you that you see that I may never see. Okay, so I don't ever want to say that, oh man, that's a bad project. And Henry, you may look through a totally different lens, and you may be like super conservative, and a lot of projects you don't even look at because it's too risky. So maybe we should change the language more so to like high risk, low risk. Okay, but yeah, to your point, it's like as a scout, we want to find a project that we feel is going to do good for 2 reasons. Why? We're serving the community because we want to provide great projects. The other side of that is, we want to do a good job as a scout. We just don't want to put out nonsense. Okay. And so, when I'm looking at this stuff, I'm obviously gauging this through my own personal risk tolerance. Okay. And your risk tolerance may be different. So just keep that in mind. Just like when we talked about dog wars, and this will be a good example. I said it last week. I'll say it today. I'll always say it. Number one, what we're talking about, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not recommending you buy any kind of crypto or get into any kind of project. Okay, we're just simply talking about things that stand out as high risk, things that are missing, and red flags. Second thing, this is all subjective, and each one of us is going to have our own opinion and feelings about these types of projects. Okay, so don't ever feel like, oh man, if you saw something and you like something and I didn't see that, that doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong. And if I say something that, oh man, this is really risky, I don't know about this, and it does well, again, that doesn't necessarily make me right. It just, these are our opinions, okay? And so we're just all trying to share information, but we're all going to be different. We're all going to have different risk tolerances. We're going to have different preferences, okay? So we think that this project probably tanked. I agree. I think that it probably tanked. And so let's see. Let's see what happened. And let's also see what, let me go back over here real quick. Where was the pre-sale? Where was the pre-sale? Oh, it was on the website. That's right. Okay. Oh, another thing to think about, this project was launching with a Certec incoming. Okay? It was incoming. It wasn't necessarily complete. Okay? Oh, good grief. What is that? Okay, it started off pretty decent, actually. Quite surprising. Okay, I don't know what the pre-sale price was. There was a price difference. There was a bit of a price difference between the two. So this is actually quite surprising, which is good. It kind of goes back to what I was saying a minute ago. How one person may or may see something. Actually, let's just do let's do that right there. Okay. Yeah, this actually did halfway decent. Oh, whoops. At least for 24 hours or a quick flip, but from a risk perspective, this seemed incredibly risky. Let's see what the gain actually was. Okay, so it was nothing crazy. There's no records broken, but 80%. So got a 1.8x. Not really sure what happened here. That's problematic. Maybe it rugged, or I don't know. Unsure about that. Are people still buying, or are people selling at this point? There are some buys coming in. Yeah, not really sure what happened there, but that might be why people are not too happy and thrilled about what's going on here. Yeah. So for me, looking at this as a scout, I echo what Henry says. Little too risky. A lot of red flags going on there. Not really sure if this would check my boxes. And the flip side is, so we have two conversations going on. We have conversation number one. Or I guess not conversations, but things to consider. I guess three really. Number one, is it a scam? Okay, so if you figure out, okay, is it not a scam? Okay, great. And then, how well is it going to do at launch? We have no control over that. And then back to control, how well is it going to do long term? Now, I don't want to speculate, and I don't want to say negative things about the project. So we don't know what happened here. Maybe something crazy. Maybe, maybe who knows? Who knows what happened here? I surely don't. But, the other checklists that we have can't support us and whether a project's going to last long term, and also who the team is and what they're about and things like that could play into, eliminating situations like this. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dog Wars. I believe, yeah, I saw it right here. Lots of messages going on. And there was a lot since last week. But we got 4,900 members. Let's go ahead and take a look at their pink cell. Okay, so their pre-sale. Oh, it ends. Let's see. It started today, and it's going to end in 3 days. So a total of 4 days. Okay, so it just started, as Daryl said a few minutes ago. So right now, there's one contributor, and they contributed 0.189 BNB. Okay, and so this just goes back to our volume of launches. This just goes back to our volume of launches. So like, if you were taking notes today or last week, just look back at last week's notes for this project, Dog Wars, and look at the pros that we brought up about it, look at the cons or red flags that we brought up about it, and just see how that actually plays out. How does that play out during the pre-sale? How does that play out during the launch? How does that play out 7 days, 30 days, 6 months down the road? And that's how you develop your KSP. And you'll start finding patterns. You start finding patterns with, if there's a fully doxed team and there's a fully completed StirTech, what kind of patterns do you see over a volume of launches with those two details? Or if you see actual game development versus the sandbox plug and play mode, what happens there? Or there's all these different things that we can monitor and track, and that's what supports you with your KSP and understanding patterns and trends, and that plays into what I feel is your secret sauce. All scouts are going to see things differently. They're going to experience things differently, and you flexing that muscle and developing that muscle will support you in finding what works best for you. Another thing, you may realize that you may not be very good at gaming projects, but you're really good at utility, or vice versa, or rewards, or memes. All these things, if you document this stuff, you'll be able to figure out patterns and like I said, KSP. You'll figure out knowledge system performance. You'll figure out like, hey, this is what works. When I search for utility projects that the team is fully doxed, there's a StirTech audit, the telegrams and socials aren't botted, the utility is already built before the pre-sale, they had a successful private sale. When you start lining all these things up, and every time you do that, you find a winner, that, my friends, is stacking the probabilities in your favor. Okay? That's giving you the best shot of picking more winners. Okay? So hopefully this session was helpful. We looked at, what did we look at? We looked at call to combat. The first thought I had when I looked at the website was it reminded me very much of Dog Wars. That was the thought that came to my mind. It reminded me very much of that. The concern with this was I just don't think that they designed this game. I could be wrong. But I don't think they designed the game. Like, this would take a lot of money, I think. I mean, this looks nice. Like, so okay, so look at the graphics here, and then look at this sucky transition. Like, that's garbage. Like, I mean, come on. Like, how do you have this type of like detailed graphics, and then this is your transition? Like, that's just garbage. And I don't mean to be rude. That's not my intent to be rude. It's just there's a disconnect between that quality and this quality. So anyway, hope this session was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it, and if you enjoyed, if you got something out of the traits, that we talked about earlier, if you got something out of the 7 decisions, the buck stops with me. Feel free to share that in Discord. What was your biggest takeaway today on what we covered today? What was your takeaway, and how do you see that you implementing that and it making a difference in your own personal life, but also in the ecosystem. So with that, I'll end like I always do. Like my mentor always said, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for your contribution, for your leadership and your vision. We are truly building the bull, and I am so thankful and grateful to be working with you, learning with you, and going through this process together. So you guys are rock stars, and I will see you in Discord. Bye for now.